Hello, and welcome to this edition of Safe and Sound. I'm Bob Watts. It seems like our children head back to school earlier and earlier every year. Today we're going to speak with professionals who have safety information that could help our children, educators, and even ourselves in the classroom and at play. We will talk with Teresa Turnbull, a community health nurse with the St. Charles County Division of Public Health, about the importance of vaccinations. Then Shirley Derby from St. Charles School District will update us on changes to the school lunch program. Lindenwood University Director of Athletic Training Randy Bickerstaff will offer ways to protect our athletes from injury. Health educator Brittany Camacho will detail educational programs she presents to area child care professionals and offer suggestions for parents before they send their kids back to school. Lastly, representatives from the St. Charles County Sheriff's Department will outline programs designed to prevent crimes and protect the community. But first, St. Charles County Health Department Public Information Officer Doug Bolnick joins me to discuss an exciting new development for Safe and Sound. I've been your host since our first episode many years ago, but with this, our 77th episode, we've decided the show needs a new look and some fresh ideas. So we've invited Doug to join us as host. Doug will be taking over as host of the program, so let's go ahead and find out about Doug. Thanks, Doug, for taking over as host of this program. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your job with the St. Charles County Department of Health.
Well, with the County Health Department, we have 3 divisions, so it's my role to do promotions for the Division of Public Health, the Division of Environmental Health and Protection, and also the Division of Humane Services. So that would include media relations, conducting interviews with the television and print media, assisting with advertising campaigns, going out and assisting and improving the website, things like that. Just general promotions. Whenever we can do a new activity, we just get the word out and spread the word.
And it seems like in St. Charles County that most of the services provided by the county directly to the citizens comes through the Department of Health.
We're lucky in our health department and in our county as well. We have a very healthy community in general. And so most of the things that we do is preventative activities. We do the traditional shots, this sexually transmitted disease clinic. We offer the Women and Infants and Children program through the Division of Public Health. Through the Environmental Health and Protection Division, we conduct restaurant and food service establishment inspections. We run the county's recycle center. And then as far as the Division of Humane Services, we run the Pet Adoption Center. So it's kind of a well-rounded and wide variety of services. But yeah, it's preventative actions as more of a reactionary event.
And these preventative actions, of course, put you in contact with the public more, and these preventative actions make St. Charles County one of the healthiest counties around.
We've been very proud. For the last 4 years, St. Charles County has ranked as the #1 county in the state of Missouri by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation as Missouri's healthiest county. And like I said, that has a lot to do with the fact that we're a little, as a county, as a whole, we're an affluent organization. We're very new buildings and new homes. We also have an active community. We have a lot of parks. We have a lot of trails. We have a very on-the-go, healthy community to begin with. And then falling back on that, we also have a great healthcare system. So,
thanks, Doug, and I hope you can bring some of that talent and expertise over to this program. It's been my pleasure to talk with our loyal viewers about how they can keep their families safe and sound. I look forward to following the show from afar instead of here before the camera. I hope that you'll join me in welcoming Doug to the show following this break.
The pain will not control us, because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
welcome back. I'm Doug Bolnick, and it's my sincere honor to follow Bob Watts as host for this show. It's been a pleasure watching Bob over the years, and I will do my best to continue the outstanding work that he and his team presented in offering tips to keep you and your family safe and sound. On today's show, we're focusing on preparations for the coming school year. When our kids do go back to school, they'll notice a number of changes implemented in the school lunch program and in the types of foods that are offered. To help explain these improvements, we welcome Shirley Derby, who is the Dining Services Director for Chartwell School Dining Services, which serves the city of St. Charles School District. Shirley, thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
School lunches are very different than they were 5, even 10 years ago. Can you explain some of those differences?
Probably the major differences are that now we're going back to food-based menu planning, and the availability of fruits and vegetables and more whole grains. And now more recently, the students are required to take a half a cup of fruit or vegetable in order for it to be a complete meal. So in the past, they didn't necessarily have to take it. We had to offer that, but they didn't have to take it. So this last year, they were required to take a half a cup of fruit or vegetable, or it was not a complete meal, which meant then they had to pay individual prices for the items that they wanted to purchase.
So what does include a complete meal? Is it the grains and the fruits, or is it a well-rounded plate?
Well, there's 5 components to the meal. You have your fruit, your vegetable, your protein, which is meat alternate, your grains, and then your milk. And so those are 5 components. The students have to take 3 of the 5 components, one of them being the fruit or vegetable, in order for it to be considered a complete meal.
Wow. And as far as you offer for the entire St. Charles City School District,
yes.
Are meals different according to age groups, and how do you plan them across the district?
Well, they have it into 3 age groups. It's K through 5, grades 6 through 8, and then 9 through 12. And we start with a basic menu, trying to pull in their popular choices that the students really like to eat, and then incorporating all of the different subgroups through the vegetables and all of the requirements that we have to have, and then just try and make it fit what the students will eat. And so there's kind of a base menu that the Chartwell's dietitians and the chefs, they put together for us, and then we fit it to the needs of our students. And we do food committee meetings 3 times a year in each of our 10 schools. And so we take those suggestions and concerns, and then we incorporate them back into our menus.
And how many meals do you make on a typical day for the whole entire district? And is your meal planning similar to what it is throughout St. Charles County with various other districts, or are you exclusive to what you do and kind of keep it that way?
We serve about 2,500 complete meals that the government would consider a complete meal, which is about 50% of our enrollment, and we serve about 20% for breakfast, which is almost 1,000 meals a day. And with that being said, that's pretty typical. Our free and reduced rate in our school district is 43%, which is fairly high, I think. I do look at other menus because you want to see what everybody's doing, and they do look very comparable to what the other schools are offering. I think that, of course, Chartwell's, I believe that we have the best program out there. And we have a program called Environments, which is the approach to have a positive, healthy eating environment where it promotes wellness and healthy eating, like through posters and activities. And we have done several videos that we won some awards on. And a lot of communication going out to the parents and to the students. So, I mean, I think we have a lot of good programs, but you can have great programs, but it takes our people, the food service workers, the servers, the cashiers out there smiling and saying, hey, give it a try. And we do a lot of samplings when we introduce new foods because with the introduction of using a lot more local foods from the farms in the area, like we go through Old Time Produce, and so they help us to get a different produce that comes out at different times of the year, goes to their warehouse, and then it comes straight to us right from the local farm. So we're able to utilize more fresh and local foods, and we have that. We also have a program called Simply Good, which is where we promote different initiatives throughout the school year. In the first part, like August through December, promotes local and fresh food. So we're promoting a fresh and local food once a week through that whole time period that helps promote healthy eating with introducing new fruits and vegetables to the students.
Well, it sounds like your company has made a big effort to get the word out to parents and to kids. But if someone would want more information, is there a website or a phone number that they could call and get a bit more information on the program?
Yes, there's lots of avenues. They could call me personally at 636-443-4016, or they can email me directly to sderby@stcharlessd.org. We also have an Eat, Learn, and Live website, which is www.eatlearnandlive.com. And you could always go to the St. Charles website where they have a lot of information about our school as well. And you could punch on the little kid sitting with his lunch tray, and you can find all of our lunch menus and nutritional information and updated meal pricing. That is www.stcharles.k12.mo.us.
Well, thanks, Shirley, for everything that you've done to help keep our kids healthy and strong. Next, St. Charles County Division of Public Health Nurse Teresa Turnbull will discuss the benefits of vaccinations.
A lot of people ask why we continue to immunize against diseases that are no longer present in the United States. And the very simple answer is because we immunize to protect ourselves from the possibility that these diseases could come back if we quit immunizing. So you can look at it as we are immunizing not only today for our children and for ourselves, but also for our future grandchildren and their grandchildren. So we are immunizing for today and tomorrow. A lot of diseases are no longer a threat in the United States that we currently immunize against, but that is because there's a saying that the world is becoming smaller, meaning that because of international travel, people traveling to other countries, other people from other countries traveling here, people relocating to other countries, or people from other countries relocating here, that those diseases that are no longer present here are present in other areas of the world. And if someone is here that could be unintentionally carrying a disease and they come in contact with someone in the United States that has not been vaccinated, then that is the possibility, giving that disease the possibility to spread. Preschools require that children, according to their age, be current on their DTaP, polio, hepatitis B, pneumococcal, Hib, measles, mumps, and rubella, and chickenpox vaccines. On top of that, when a child is going into kindergarten, between the ages of 4 to 6, they need a booster dose of DTaP, polio, measles, mumps, and rubella, and chickenpox. Children are now required to have 2 doses of chickenpox before they can enter kindergarten. And further on down the line, when a child is going into 8th grade, they are now required to have a booster dose of Tdap, which contains the same components as what they received younger, just in a different composition. And that protects them against the tetanus disease, diphtheria, and pertussis, which is whooping cough. Parents can receive immunizations for their children in several different ways. If they have private insurance through an employer-sponsored plan that covers immunizations, then they need to go to their private provider, be it a general health practitioner or a pediatrician, to receive the immunizations for their children there. If they carry that type of insurance, that it's an employer-sponsored private health insurance, but it does not cover immunizations, then we consider them underinsured, in which case we are able to give those immunizations here. Then as far as children that are covered through the state plan, through Medicaid, are completely uninsured, or of American Indian or Alaskan Native heritage, they are able to receive vaccines through the Vaccines for Children program, and we are able to give those here. We are by appointment, so we do ask that parents call to schedule an appointment, and that number for Immunization Line is 636-949-1857. If people are looking for more information on vaccinations, they can visit the St. Charles County Department of Community Health Public Health Division's website at health.sccmo.org, and there they will find links that are available to look for further information on vaccinations. They will find the days that we do hold vaccination clinics and our hours for the clinics. If they're looking for further information on vaccines in general, they can visit the Centers for Disease Control website, which is cdc.gov.
Thanks for the update, Teresa. Now we'll chat with Director of Athletic Training at Lindenwood University, Randy Biggerstaff, to learn ways to keep our kids safe during physical activity. Welcome to the show, Randy.
Thank you. Welcome.
As more and more youngsters are playing sports or being physically active, we've seen a great deal of increase in injuries. What are some of the things that parents and coaches can do to prevent that?
Probably the most important thing is to have the athlete depending on the age, having your younger athletes be more active. If the young person is out playing and doing the normal daily-to-day activity, they usually are ready to play sports. The problem with today's child is that they sit in front of a TV or a video screen, and then mommy and daddy grab them, take them out to practice, and expect them to play. Most of the time, flexibility, maybe light strengthening can be in a program to get them ready for that sport. But most of the time, a normal young kid can go out and play and do anything they want and not have any danger of injury.
Some sports, like football or soccer or hockey, need protective equipment. How would a parent or a coach know that the equipment fits properly and is ready to be used?
My recommendation would probably be is to find either a sports medicine clinic or an athletic trainer at a high school or junior high, and if they've got equipment that is deemed protective, such as a helmet or shoulder pads, I would have a professional take a look at that and make sure it's fitting properly. Some of your sporting goods stores in St. Louis do have professionals there that can fit it, but your Walmarts, your Kmarts, those kind of stores don't have professionals on staff that usually can fit those. Athletic trainers are usually very friendly. They'll be happy to take a look at that. But again, I would not trust a helmet or a pair of shoulder pads to just anybody.
Speaking of helmets, the Centers for Disease Control, the National Football League, and various youth sports organizations have made a big emphasis on protecting the head trauma. What should someone do if faced with a head trauma during the game, and how would we know when someone could get back into the sport?
That's really a tough question, because head injuries, back injuries, neck injuries are not something any of us can palpate or determine where the pain is. It's up to the athlete or to the young person to tell us that they're having problems. A recent research study by Purdue University showed that athletes in the high school level can receive many maximal traumas to the head and never show a symptom. And so basically the parent has to rely upon the student or their child to tell them that they're having some problems. The younger the patient is, the quicker I'd yank them out of competition, because young people, their brain are developing, they can't tell you what hurts. So if they get hit in the head, take them out, have somebody take a look at them. Athletic trainers have been deemed by the state with the ability to allow an athlete to go back in. Physicians are the main person that we look at to take a look at our athletes. Neurosurgeons, neurophysicians are usually the best ones, but your family physician, some who are trained in sports medicine, can do a very good job of letting you know and reassuring you that the young person can go back to competition. But the big key is if you as a parent see your child get hurt and there's nobody on the field, such as a certified athletic trainer or a physician, I would not let them continue. I would make sure that they're normal. The worst problem is most of these injuries progress, and so when the injury happens, they may not have a lot of symptoms, but 5 minutes later, they could be losing their memory, they could be stumbling, they could be falling, and obviously we want them in a hospital as soon as possible.
We've talked about the importance for physical activity, and as we get more accustomed to it, as you increase your fitness, you're able to increase the intensity. What is a stage that someone should look for to know that they can go to that next level?
Usually I recommend to my patients that they end up making it easy. If you're doing something and it's getting to be really easy and it's not giving you any kind of strain or stress, then it's time to increase what you're doing. Usually we recommend about 10%. So if you're doing 5 pounds, then you would go up by by 1 pound. So you would go up to 6 pounds. If you're running a mile, you go up to 1.25 miles. So you would just kind of increase it, but most of it's your body. We're not competitive. A competitive athlete where your coaches would deem your workout and slowly increase that and get you quicker and faster and stronger. A normal recreational athlete would probably just increase it by about 10% each time. And that means that if you're running 5 miles, then you would go to 1 mile more. Same thing goes with speed. If you're doing 5 miles and you want to get quicker, then increase the speed, don't increase the distance. That would prevent your injuries.
That's some great information, Randy. Thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information on programs that can keep you safe and sound here in St. Charles County. Welcome back. Thus far on the show, we've talked primarily about preparing school-age children for their return to the classroom. It's also important, however, for educators themselves to prepare for the school year. To help with that, St. Charles County Health Educator Brittany Camacho will let us know about educational programming available to help child care professionals protect our kids. We appreciate you joining us today, Brittany. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
I understand that you lead the Child Care Health Protection Program here in St. Charles County. Could you tell us a little bit about what that is and what it entails?
Sure. Our Child Care Health Consultant Program is a part of Healthy Child Care Missouri, which is a collaborative project between the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services and local public health agencies around Missouri to provide health consultation to child care centers. And it's funded in part by special grants through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Child Care, and Maternal and Child Health Bureaus. The services that we provide are health consultation to group homes and care centers on health and safety concerns, training programs for child care providers themselves, as well as health promotion programs for preschool-age children. And all of these services are provided to child care centers, the children, and their families at no cost.
And why is it important for the healthcare providers to keep up with their education?
Training and professional development are essential components of child care licensing. So keeping up to date on health and safety concerns affecting the children in their center will ensure that they're providing quality care. Child care providers in the state of Missouri are required to have 12 contact hours of continuing education per calendar year. We at the Health Department provide clock hour workshops on a variety of topics, including things like pediatric first aid and CPR, how to care for children with special needs, to make them include them in the child care setting, as well as topics like juvenile diabetes, asthma, and nutrition and menu planning as well.
If somebody does have a toddler and they're looking for a daycare center, what are some tips that you would provide to help them pick the best one for their child?
Choosing a child care center is probably one of the most difficult but important decisions a family can ever make. And even though it may seem daunting, there are some ways that are some guidelines that parents can use and help narrowing down their choices. First off is licensing. You want to ask the director of the center what types of licenses or certifications or accreditations that they hold. And even though these licensing requirements can vary state to state, this basically ensures that a minimum standard of care is being met. The second one would be safety, and you want to make sure that the center is providing a safe place for your child to learn and play, and observe, do they cover electrical outlets, are their blinds hanging down, if you're caring for children under the age of 3, is it free of smaller toys that aren't developmentally appropriate for a child that age? And then there's the environment. Besides just providing a safe and clean environment, is the ratio of care providers to children adequate to meet your child's needs? Some children really thrive in large groups. Others are much more comfortable in a small group setting. Is there a lot of structured play versus unstructured time? Staff is another one. Do these staff have appropriate background checks to be working with children? And another consideration would be convenience. Is it close to your home or to your work? Are you going to have to be rushing home from work to get there in time? And if it's an in-home center, is there a backup plan if that provider should become ill or if emergencies should arise?
If a parent or a child care provider was looking for more information, where could they go?
For starters, if you are looking for a list of licensed daycare facilities in our area, you could visit the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services website at www.health.mo.gov and access the Show Me Child Care Provider search. If you're interested in getting more information about our child care health consultant program and the services that we provide, or to schedule a clock hour workshop or a preschool health promotion, you can contact the St. Charles County Department of Community Health and Environment.
Thanks a lot, Brittany. There's a lot to consider when worrying about our kids. The St. Charles County Sheriff's Department offers a number of programs that protect our citizens, and we're going to learn about a couple of them today. First, let's hear from Lieutenant Craig McGuire, who's going to tell us the importance of being active in your community.
In St. Charles County, we serve a very wide, diverse population, so we have a neighborhood watch program that's kind of adaptable for different areas. Sometimes I meet with small cities in the community, and other times I meet with large subdivisions in the community. So we try and tailor that neighborhood watch program for the citizens that live in that particular area. We can't have a policeman on every corner. And all of our policemen don't know everybody that lives in St. Charles County. So what we ask is the public act as our eyes and our ears. Nobody knows what goes on in a subdivision better than those folks that live in that subdivision. So we ask them to be observant, and if they see something that looks out of place, something that doesn't look right, give us a call. What we ask is if people see something, again, that looks out of the ordinary, say they know their next-door neighbor's got a place at the Lake of the Ozarks, they're gone every weekend, and on Saturday night they see a strange car in the driveway. If nothing else, write down a license plate number. Now, obviously, if they see somebody forcing their way in the house, they need to call us immediately on 911. The National Night Out is the first Tuesday in August, and that's part of a larger neighborhood watch program nationwide. And what it tries to tempt people to do is get out of their residence, have a neighborhood block party, meet some of the other citizens that live around them, get to understand a little bit about what they do and a little bit about their lives, so you know what to expect if something looks out of place. If someone wants to know if they have a neighborhood watch active in their area, or if they want to start a neighborhood watch program, all they need to do is give me a call. My number is 636-949-3006. One of the things about the Neighborhood Watch program that we try to accomplish is we want to open up a line of dialogue between us and law enforcement and the people that we serve. I can't go and tell everybody in a certain area that we've been seeing these kind of crimes. There's no way I can go knock on everybody's door and let them. With the Neighborhood Watch programs, I can contact one person and they could put the word out in their subdivision. One of the biggest things we're having problems with now countywide in subdivisions is theft from unlocked vehicles and theft from garage doors that are left open. Since the 1st of January, we've had 49 residential burglaries that occurred in residences that were left insecure. Most of the time it's the overhead garage door is up or the man door is left unlocked and they get into the garage. They have access to everything in the garage. They have access to the vehicle. And a lot of times they have access into the house through the garage door from the garage into the house. In addition, we've had 111 thefts from vehicles that were usually parked in somebody's driveway where the vehicle was left unlocked. 11 of those, 111 thefts we had, and 6 of them included cars that had guns in them, that handguns were stolen. So we're putting a lot of guns out on the street in the hands of bad guys by people failing to lock their cars and remove their firearms from their car.
Thanks for providing us with the update, Lieutenant McGuire. For information on activities within specific St. Charles County cities, be sure to speak with your local police department as well. CareTrack is a new program that was just introduced in July to help parents and caregivers locate autism and Alzheimer's patients that have a tendency to wander. Deputy Steve Case is here to provide us with more information on this interesting program.
CareTrack is a company in Illinois that manufactures tracking equipment. They've been manufacturing the equipment for quite a while. They started in 1986 by tracking people, which is what they do. They have these transmitters and these wristbands that if someone is to wander away from home, we're able to go out and track them down. CareTrack is designed to help track those folks that wander or suffer from elopement, specifically Alzheimer's patients, people with dementia, children with autism have a bad habit of wandering away from their caregivers. So with one of these wristbands on, we would then get a phone call from that family or caregiver that says, my son or my grandfather has wandered off. We know who they are. We can go out and start tracking from the last point they were seen. We can track them on the ground for a mile. If we're in the air in a helicopter, we can track them for 5 miles. Right now, the Sheriff's Department, St. Charles County Sheriff's Department, as well as the St. Charles County Health Department, are combining their forces. The Sheriff's Department will actually be the ones that go out tracking the individuals when they wander off. The Health Department will actually be the ones that have to start the paperwork process, and then once every 2 months, whoever is wearing a wristband has to come in to get the battery changed. St. Charles County residents are able to join into the system by filling out the proper applications, getting the paperwork done so we can order the equipment, and then they can come into the health department to have that equipment installed, and then once every 2 months they have to come in to get the batteries changed. As far as the requirements for being in the system, obviously there has to be a history of some kind of elopement or wandering. There has to be some kind of medical diagnosis. For example, the autism, the dementia, something along those lines. They have to be St. Charles County residents. If you'd like more information on how the system works, how the county is going to be running the system, you can contact the health department. They have all the information available. Also, you can contact www.caretrack.com if you want more information on actually how the equipment works and the different places it is already up and running in the system.
Thanks, Deputy Case. Now that's all the time we have here today. I hope you've learned some helpful information to prepare for another school year and to protect the ones you love. Please join me next time to discover more information on how to keep you and your family safe and sound.